Hi, Rob Corrigan here. I'd like to welcome you to Easy Illustrated Ebooks. So what is Easy Illustrated Ebooks? Easy Illustrated Ebooks is a system I've developed for producing illustrated ebooks very, very quickly indeed. What I want to do is to show you the breadth of the course here by showing you some examples. And I'm going to show you some of my examples and I'm going to show you the examples of other people. Okay, so if we take a look at the first one here, that's by an author called Brad Spilling. And the reason that I'm showing you this one first is because I am Brad Spilling and this is a book about spelling mistakes. So as you can see, I've tried to be slightly amusing here. These pictures here were just taken with my ordinary camera phone and I'll show you a little bit inside it. And if we have a look at that there, we can get a flavour of what the book's about simply by looking at some of the images on the cover. And there we go there. I've told you a little bit about how the genesis of the book came about. And of course, there's any number of absolutely wonderful spelling mistakes inside there. And at the moment, this is the book that's doing really, really well for me. And if we have a look there, we can see that it is in the 184,400 and it's 4,832 in the Kindle store, Books and Humour, which is quite a big achievement really. So that's Brad Spilling. I'll introduce you now to myself. This is what really set the ball rolling. This is an observing guide to Comet Ison. This is a very, very simple book and I've used images from the public domain in it, and it simply was an observing guide. So it had a picture of the comet, in fact several pictures of the comet. It had a little bit of information as to its discovery and also had a sky chart. And if we can see there, that's 2012. So Comet Ison's been and gone, but strangely enough, this actually still does sell. So there we go. And the next one I want to take a look at is this little ABC book. Now, ABC books are very easy to write. They're also really big sellers, as indeed are counting books. And I want to introduce you to Anne Lamb, because Anne Lamb is me. And if you can see here, these are some superb pictures which are available in the public domain. And none of this really has taxed my writing skills at all. So if we have a look through that, you can see how easy these things are put together. This border was just a stock photo that I actually bought literally for a few dollars, and that gave me the right to use it in the book. So you can see how many of these could you put together in an afternoon? 3, 4, something similar to that, yeah. So that's Anne Lamb. And then more of the serious stuff's actually under my own name. So if we look there, there's me. And here's my Jupiter book, and I've entitled it An Early Learner Book for Kids. It contains lots of illustrations and only a small amount of text, and the illustrations are available in the public domain, as indeed is the information that's actually accompanying the pictures. And if we look through there, none of this is particularly difficult to do. And of course that's the end of the Kindle sample. This one is aimed at a much more adult audience, how to buy a telescope. And I've illustrated this as well. And again, all of these illustrations come from the public domain. Now this is a little bit more advanced because I actually wrote all the content to this myself and used the illustrations obviously to illustrate the points that I was making in the text. As you can see there, that's a more academic work. And I wanted to show you some works of other authors as well, and here are some great examples. I love these little horses and pony things, and here we are, horses and ponies, and a superb cover there, and the author has just illuminated the text by putting a little bit in the way of content in there. Now that's a superb kids book, and this particular author, which I have to point out is actually not me, does rather well. As you can see, they've produced a whole range of different books here, and if we go down there we can see that it's a very, very good seller. It's 84 in the children's books and animals, so someone's found a very lucrative niche here indeed. And again, there's another one by the same author about cats and dogs. There we go. It follows the same sort of pattern as you can see there, and again these charming little books don't take an awful lot of time to put together. As you can see, they're using a formula. Here's another one, Mars the Red Planet. This is in competition with my Jupiter book. And again, as you can see, all of these illustrations are from the public domain. You may remember that from my book I showed you on Jupiter. and these are very easy to put together. And one last one there, Alexander the Great, just something a little bit differently, a fact book for kids. And there we go. Little bit of information which is easy to come across, or indeed if you want to do it yourself, you can actually write that yourself. So before this video becomes too long, if you scroll down this page, there's a full description in there of how you can produce your own superbly illustrated ebooks simply by following this superb training.